with very humble way. And this is another quality of Shri Rama, is a sankoch. There's no word in English language because you have formality, which is a very insipid word to describe sankoch. Because there is no integration between your heart and formality. But if you can think of a formality of the heart, then what do you call that? What will you call in English language? The formality of the heart.
Sincerity.
Huh?
Sincerity.
No, sincerity is different. It's an action. Sincerity is an abstract thing. But formality from the heart. You see, how to say such a thing?
Honestly, Mother. Honestly.
Huh?
Honestly, Mother.
What is it?
Honestly.
What is it?
Honestly.
No, not honesty. These are all abstract words. In action. You see, say, so for example, now I'm sitting, now they bring me a cup, alright? It's a broken cup, for example. You go to somebody's house, it's a little broken. So, if an Indian is there, I don't know about Western side, he'll eat, he'll drink it out. He will not say anything, it's broken already. But maybe somebody might say, it's a broken cup. It's broken. Or say, you go to somebody's house, see, and you don't like a color scheme or something. So, for an Indian person, it would be not proper to immediately say like that. For an Indian. You see, formality of the heart. You see, not to say something in such a way that you touch the wrong side of the person. Is sankocha. Now to such an extent Sri Rama had. That there's a good story, I think I said it before also, but again I'll repeat it too, which is described in the another Ramayana written by Tulsidasa, though Tulsidasa was not a realized soul, but some points he has brought out very well. He says that Sri Rama was putting the arrows into the against the heads of Ravana, and he had 10 heads, and he had a boon that every head that falls off, another head will come up. He had a boon like that. So his brother says, what are you doing? You know that he cannot die by killing him, by putting the arrows across his head. You have to put it in his heart, otherwise he will not die. So the sankocha comes in him, and he said, see, in his heart he has got my wife, because he loves her, and she's sitting in his heart. How can I hit him in the heart? She'll be hurt. See the delicacy of his understanding. So he said, then by hitting his head, is he going to be killed? He said, you see, attention, once it is going towards his head, his attention will be withdrawn from his heart. And once the attention is withdrawn, my wife will not be there anymore, then I'll hit him and I'll kill him. So see this sankoch. You see, then you will understand that how we are rude and arrogant. You see, this kind of arrogance and rudeness comes to us because we have no sankoch. We should not say everything to everyone. We need not. Should we say everything? Say for example in your puja, maybe you are doing something which should not be done. I know it's wrong. Unless until absolutely wrong, I will not tell. I said gradually tell that. Because otherwise you become like this. She tensed up. You must see Linda's face if I tell her anything. She goes into it. So, you see, that sankocha, that understanding comes if you love someone and understand. Now you have to love all the seekers of the world. They have done wrong, they have done all kinds of ego trips, they have done all kinds of mistakes, but your mother loves them and you have to love them. If they are to be corrected, I'll do that. You just don't do that way that they feel hurt. Put a sankocha. While talking to each other, educate yourself. Train yourself to say things which are sweet and nice, which will make another person feel that this person is a properly brought up person in Sahaja Yoga tradition. So we have a Sahaja Yoga tradition also, in which when we speak to each other, we have that sankocha within us of Sri Rama. And if you do not have that sankocha, you get the right heart. And that right heart is a very dangerous thing in a country like England where the climate is so bad, because it gives you a horrible thing called asthma. I'm not frightening you, but it's true. You get asthma if your right heart is gone. Not necessarily that asthma all comes from only right heart, can also come from center heart. But you get right heart, you definitely get asthma. So the attitude, you see, like your father. I've heard people talking to father also in such a funny way. You can't talk to your father like that. They talk to me also very rudely. I mean, I've seen people Sahaja Yogis, shockingly sometimes, on a very mundane level, or you can say on a very unprotocolish way, you get into right heart. So this sankoch one has to learn. The maryada means the boundaries of your relationships. You see, we love each other doesn't mean that we go on aggressing others' privacies. To what extent you love each other doesn't mean that you go in such a way that you try to transgress all the beauties and all the privacies of another person. See, somebody walks into the bedroom, that is not the way Sahaja Yoga. I may not tell, but you must knock if you have to. And knock at a time when you need it. All the time to knock or to hang on to someone all the time is not knock. The sankocha is a complete cultural stuff. So we have a cultural tradition which we have to learn from Sri Rama. He is known for his sankocha every time. How to say this? I cannot. We have this very much ingrained within us. The children are to be educated in that way, and once they are educated that way, they will learn the sankocha. And that will give them a proper understanding of social life. Like you now see, this light is here, if you put your finger to it, it might burn and you may remove your finger. But if you are with another person, and if you try to take liberties with that person, a day may come when that person will misbehave or will harm you or do something to you. But still you will not realize it is because you have no sankoch it has happened. So this sankoch has to be worked out very beautifully in every way. In thanksgiving, in accepting somebody's gratitude, in expressing your love to another person in a way that is a sankoch. Now Sri Rama is known for his boundaries. He doesn't cross the limit. The other day I told you about food, that you don't cross the boundaries of food, like being compassionate to the bugs and to the mosquitoes. You see, in the same way, in everything, discretion of the heart should be there. Now, there is no word for discretion of the heart in English language, which is maryada. Discretion of the heart. Is to understand, say example, if you are rude to your father, what do you gain? You gain nothing. But if you are humble, you might gain over. With your father, all right. Even if he is a bad man. Because what happens in reaction, if you say psychologically, supposing you are a son of a father who is doing something wrong, and you are obedient to him, he will always have a fear that he will lose you if you fall in your ideas. So by that humility you will raise him. If you are humble, if your behavior towards your parents is like Sri Rama's, there's nothing to lose. You don't compromise in your any principles or anything. In day-to-day things, like that your father is sitting. I mean, in India, if the father is there, you won't sit down before him. You won't sit at any cost. Till he tells you 10 times, you won't sit before. It helps, Then it reacts on the father, that supposing if I misbehave, my child will not respect. So the sense of respect also comes from your heart. That's only possible if you know that maryada from your heart. How far to go? What is the need to be rude to your father? No need at all. At any cost, what is the need? Or to your husband? Or to your wife? Why say anything harsh to anyone? What is the need? What are you going to gain out of it? By saying anything harsh, I have not seen people have improved. Only when a guru is harsh, or the mother or father are harsh to the children, it helps. Nowhere else it helps. In common relationships, like brothers, sisters, it does not, and higher and lower. The lower person have to bear the harshness of elders if they want to improve. There's nothing. After all, they are not going to throttle you. Supposing even if he says something bad to you, doesn't matter. All right. You try to, and there one has to remember what Christ has said, that you must put another cheek. So use the heart's discretion, how far to go to a person. In the effect of it, you will be a very, very powerful person. In your family, in Sahaja Yoga, anywhere. Those people who are obedient to me are very powerful Sahaja Yogas. You know that. And those who are not go down very fast. I try to save them by everything. But I have seen those who are disobedient, who don't listen to me, who are rude to me, who do not understand the protocol, go down very much in Sahaja Yoga. Absolutely like that. In a second I find they're going hundreds of feet down. It's true. Because what is lacking in you is the discretion, the maryada, how far to go. And that's another thing we have to learn to educate ourselves. So the education of Sri Rama, as it was, I told you that he could kill a demon with one arrow. You don't have to beat them 108 times. One beating should be sufficient. But you have to be powerful people, and the power of a person increases by putting maryada. Supposing you have wheat and you just spread it, it will spread all over. Birds will come and eat it off. It will be finished. But if you put them in a sack, it will have a weight, it will have a size, it will raise in height, and it is useful. It will have respect. But the thing that is all spread all over, which has no maryada, will never be respected. Nothing works out without maryada. Even the light keeps to a maryada. You have to keep your maryadas. That is the part of our training. Say, for example, an aeroplane is there, and it is not bound by any maryadas. See, it is not bound. When it goes in the air, it will all finish. All our ideas of freedom are to be bound by maryada. If the freedom has no maryada, it is abandonment. It is nonsense. It is not going to help us. So we have to create out of Sahaja Yogis great politicians. It has been predicted that if Sahaja Yoga does not spread, then Third World War is inevitable. People will suffer a lot with Third World War. It is possible to avoid it if people take to Sahaja Yoga in a big number. But if they do not, there will be a Third World War. And the effects of that will harm people so much that ultimately it is the Sahaja Yogis who will be called for a conference and not the diplomats. The Sahaja Yogis will be consulted and they will decide what is to be done for the world, and they will become the rulers of tomorrow's world. So we must have full idea how to be rulers like Sri Rama. We have to go too far with ourselves, to training up ourselves, educating ourselves, getting rid of our egos, and understanding that we have to grow. It's a very big task, it's a great task, and sometimes you might think, how can mother expect us to do it? But I think you are the people who are chosen for it, and you have to get to it and work it out. So we have to train up ourselves to be first good rulers of ourselves and the rulers of others. First we must learn to rule ourselves. You see, here in this body only you learn how to rule yourself. Comfort, if you get fond of comfort, make your body work it out that there is no comfort needed. If your body indulges into too much eating or anything, make your body learn that is not good to indulge into. If you speak too much, talk too much, if you are rude, just say that I am not going to say a word from morning till evening. Take to Mauna. So the tapa is the penance time is now ahead of us. With that penance, the greatest thing that is going to help you is to go and talk of Sahaja Yoga, give the message of my advent, and also talk about how the transformation, the blossom time has come. This you have to do, plus you have to learn how to rule yourself and then how to rule others through your heart, not through your mind. You have to rule through your hearts by learning all the qualities of the heart which I have told you. I must congratulate you for the article you have written on blossom time. I have gone through it, I have really enjoyed it thoroughly. It is done very well, may God bless you. And I think it will have a good... I am surprised how they have published it. Have they changed in their mind or what happened? It's amazing. Have you seen that article? It's great. Come along, come forward. And thank you very much for the nice creepers you have sent me. Marie, they are so beautiful. You see, they still are under the shock, you see, because I removed them from your gentle care to mine. And mine is a little sort of flippant one now. But today we tried to do some justice to them. I'm sure we gave them a bandhan.